We're here at April 26th on the Western River, Nunavut. It's right close to Bathurst Inlet, about 30 miles west of the Arctic Ocean. Let me describe the river a little bit. Right now, the valley, and that drops pretty straight down, about 600 feet, and that's igneous, solid rock. It drops down, and then the valley of the Western is, in itself, if you scrape away the moraine, it's kind of flat, but it's covered by a lot of moraine, which is glacial sand and gravel. And a lot of the moraine is at right angles to the walls. In other words, it's like dams. At one time, in glacial times, it was dammed up by these moraines, and they're about 200 feet high. You can see various beach levels of water from glacial times. And then, of course, these things broke, and then the river flowed through, where it broke like that. So there's a lot of winding back and forth. It's a gravel-based bottom. It's nothing like the river I was on, where you had drops and so forth. And I'm not sure if it would be navigable in the summertime. It has quite a drop to it, but a safe drop. And then the last 3 days I've been having north winds that pick up quite a bit. And today I had turned into a real ground blizzard, about 50-mile-an-hour winds, and these big billowing clouds of snow that's been picked up. It goes up for almost 1,000 feet in the air. And I got into frozen overflow today, which was good travel in the wind, a wind against me, of course. And then late afternoon, the river actually picked up water, and that flowed for a while, and I had to cross several times. Not a lot of really deep water, but water that was flowing, and then that flowed into a lake. And this is when the storm came up real bad, where there's zero visibility. On the other side of the lake was about a mile, and I know there were some moraines there. I was looking for shelter. I wanted to set up my camp. But when I got on the other side of the lake, this overflow had flowed out over the water, had flowed over the ice, and the top part had frozen, which is pretty typical. So you have a layer of frozen ice, and then you've got water underneath that. And then there's solid ice underneath that, and that water can be anywhere from an inch to 2 feet deep. And I started getting into it. I could hear the crackling, and I could also feel a little bit, and I knew I've been in these situations a number of times. And the problem, I couldn't get ashore, because the closer I got to shore, the worse the ice got. And then I had this canoe and the little sled behind the canoe that was just out of control in this slick ice and this 50-mile-an-hour wind swinging around, and this whole thing is just all I wanted to do was camp, and I ended up trying to find a campsite in the flat ice. I drilled down an ice screw for 4 inches, and water literally sprouted out like an artesian well. The last thing you want in these overflow places is to set up your camp and have your camp flooded out, your sleeping bag, everything. It would be just a real mess. But I finally got close to a shore that was safe, and pitched a tent and made camp, and got bottoms of my muckalucks wet, and nothing serious like that. I only have 2 liters of gas left for cooking only. I don't have enough for any type of heating at all, so it would have been a mess if I really would have got wet in that. I have to face it tomorrow. I'll be driving or hauling through that area. But anyways, I think a little adventure, kind of irritating at the time of the storm, and I'm still working on the resupply. Hopefully that's going to happen tomorrow or the next day or by Monday for sure. So this is Will here, day 33 in the Western River, over and out.